Hi, I'm Eggington.
And I'm Chris Walton. Welcome to our enclosure evaluation of the black-handed spider monkeys.
While using the other name, Ateles geoffroyi at Reaseheath College.
Spider monkeys in captivity have a life expectancy of between 40 and 50 years. In the wild, they live in the rainforest and mangrove forests and spend most of the time high up in the canopy.
In the wild, spider monkeys live in large groups containing up to 30 to 70 individuals with a typical home range of 1 to 3 km squared. The main diet consists of up to 80 to 90% fruit supplemented with leaves, flowers and young seeds.
Zoos have a legal requirement to educate visitors on their exhibited species. Most visitors come for recreation with little interest in conservation, so education can motivate them to become more involved.
For visitor experience, information boards should be present explaining captive species and the general history. More visual stimuli present will make it more readable to audiences.
At this enclosure, the information posters available tell us both the name and the history of the spider monkeys kept there. This allows the visitors to associate more with the animals on a more personal level.
At this enclosure, signs are placed at easily visible points where visitors may stand in order to observe the spider monkeys in their enclosure. One of the aims of this is to encourage people to take part in conservation methods. Warning signs must indicate where access is not permitted, such as keeper access. Using symbol-based signs can help assist children, disabled or foreign visitors when they are clearly visible.
Visitors and students may benefit from being able to observe the keepers at work in this enclosure, which is made possible because the whole enclosure is visible and a window allows viewing of the indoor area. When designing an enclosure, it's important to bear in mind where conflicts of interest may lie. Firstly, visitors want to see animals, but animals may want to hide to avoid stress.
That's right, Chris. Secondly, visitors want a large complex enclosures, but keepers, however, need to be able to service them appropriately. Thirdly, plants provide an aesthetically pleasing enclosure, but to the animals may want to eat them and could prove to be toxic.
Well, I think this enclosure is a good compromise between these points of view. The whole enclosure is visible, while still providing retreat for the animals using platforms and an indoor area, with no toxic plants used.
The spider monkey enclosure has a ceiling on it, as per the Secretary of State Standards of Modern Zoo Practice, which says that enclosures must be designed to prevent escape. Posts must be lodged firmly in the ground for dislodging, and all fencing should be maintained.
The mesh fence holes could allow the animal or a small child's arm to fully fit through, and the barrier is only 2 feet apart from the enclosure fence. Spider monkeys are strong for their size, seen in their defence mechanism of breaking and dropping heavy branches on predators below. Considering this, if a small child got too close to the animal could reach through and grasp somebody. As an improvement, the barriers could be increased to at least 4 feet apart to make physical contact less likely.
Here, the fence separating the public from the enclosure is partly damaged, suggesting it may have been used to climb on for a better view. Ideally, a fence in which discourages climbing, such as netting fence which is used at the spider monkeys at Ateles Primary Park in the Netherlands, is much more durable.
The keeper access room allows sliding doors to operate the tunnel for the animals to move from the outdoor to the indoor area without any contact needed, which helps prevent unnecessary stress. An improvement, however, could include a crush cage in this system for safe capturing when needed, such as for injections, rather than invasive procedures. The keeper access also acts as a storage facility for tools, and the sliding door also allows the keeper to perform maintenance on the enclosure, to feed and change the water of the spider monkeys.
Wild spider monkeys often feed in the morning, then rest during the day while digesting the food. This enclosure faces southeast, allowing animals to bask in the sun on the shed's roof. It is recommended that up to 30 spider monkeys have ground enclosure size of 700 meters squared, and Reaseheath's floor area is 73.44 square meters, making this proportionately appropriate for the 3 monkeys housed here.
The viewing area is quite narrow and restricted, which may cause viewers to spend less time viewing as there is no shelter. In comparison, the spider monkey exhibit at Hamilton Zoo in New Zealand includes a walkway with a handrail for disabled access, leading towards a sheltered viewing area to protect viewers from the rain.
Visitor behaviour like teasing could promote aggression or avoidance in primates. This is unlikely to occur here because the viewing area is on equal level to the exhibit, and this species naturally spends more time higher up on the animals and not being peered at from above. Although being an educational zoo means there are not visitors every day, but to further improve this enclosure floor could be even higher than the viewing area or sloping to give both people and animals a better view, like the Colombian black spider monkey enclosure at Dudley Zoo.
To create both an aesthetically pleasing and naturalistic environment, strong and fast-growing plant species could be used to withstand damage from the animals, and plants with large leaves to imitate the rainforest environment, like the exhibit at Kirkrad Zoo.
The use of plants and shrubs between the barrier and enclosure could help create immersion, like Peyton Zoo's spider monkey exhibit. Camouflage barriers in front of it has been shown to reduce aggression and stereotypic behaviour in gorillas. It's not unlikely to assume that the similar could be done for the spider monkeys.
Mesh roof allows natural locomotion and use of the prehensile tail, and also food can be scattered on the top to encourage arboreal foraging.
Several suspended platforms at different heights allow animals to choose where to rest, who with, and in sun or shade. They allow broad territory view while also stimulating the natural behaviour of the resting in the canopy.
The indoor area's wooden floor here could be prone to rot over time without proper treatment. To improve this, you could use a concrete floor covered in synthetic coating that's hygienic, more durable and easy to clean, such as the one used at Appenhill Primate Park in the Netherlands.
This indoor area offers refuge for the spider monkeys, which allows them to stay sheltered from the weather outside. Although a suggestion for improvement is soundproof materials for further comfort. It contains a branch which allows them to use the tails for locomotive purposes when sheltered. This is an important welfare point, as disallowing species-specific behaviour can cause stress in captivity.
Enclosure contains a multitude of methods by which the spider monkeys can navigate their enclosure, supplying them with a means of using their tail in locomotion. A possible improvement would be to have a rope hanging vertically over a free-running fresh water, as well as enabling a suspensory drinking position. Also, from the visitor point of view, it looks and sounds more natural and lowers maintenance requirements.
Spider monkeys live in a fission-fusion society, split into subgroups while foraging, helping avoid aggression, by segregating themselves during times of conflict. The indoor area provides an escape route to allow hiding, although conflict is less likely here as these animals are particularly old and this enclosure only houses a small group of 3, so providing an escape route is not as crucial.
As England is prone to high levels of rainfall, another possible improvement could be to have the entire enclosure sheltered, like in Taronga Zoo at Australia, or large netting above to replicate more authentically the canopy, like in Cricket St Thomas Wildlife Park spider monkey enclosure.
Reaseheath Spider Monkey Enclosure takes into account the 5 freedoms of the Terrestrial Animal Health Code of 2010, which state, all animals should be free from hunger and thirst. This enclosure allows easy access to these tasks. An animal should be free from discomfort. They are provided with shelter from the elements and areas to rest. Free from pain, injury and distress. The enclosure is easy to clean with no hazards for injury. Freedom to express normal behaviours such as climbing and foraging, and freedom from fear, distress, though enabling them to hide from public view and conflict.
The enclosure equally meets the needs of both the visitors, animals and keepers. It appears to meet all legal requirements regarding health and safety, animal welfare and educational needs. Considering this enclosure is part of an educational establishment, it satisfies its purpose. This has been our evaluation by Chris Walton
and Eggington. Thank you very much for listening.